it sounds so complicated to me to have to even,
Right.
and like me, I have a big forehead, right? And if you're constantly ragging on me, like, man, Kaya, it's a chrome dome, da 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 da, and one day I'm just not in the mood,
Right.
and now I tell you, hey, Joelle, sometimes you play too much, and you really cut me deep with that last joke. It reminded me of my childhood, and now I'm on a tangent, right? My trauma's coming up.
Yeah.
That's really not on you being funny.
Let me go to Kaya out of North Carolina.
So the love languages, would the root of a love language or what makes a person feel loved, isn't that going to stem from everything ego and emotion? Isn't that where it all comes from?
Yeah, those generalizations, those 5 generalizations, that's why I said in the beginning to scratch that. The quality time, all that's going to do is make you feel better. The words of affirmation, all that's do is just going to feed your ego. The gifts feed your ego. The root is understanding.
Well, I get all that, and I agree with that, but I don't really agree with the way that you're turning it into this other thing, like understand the person, because that implies that we have all these different realms to be understood. That's not even really true. Like the example with your girlfriend, your past relationship, where the girl's like, oh, he plays too much, and she's getting offended, and you're taking it like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't play so much. But the truth is, maybe she should look at herself to see why she's so offended by this man that she knows loves her, or, you know, she's following or whatever. That's something within self. It's not really this whole, well, that's just how I grew up, and da-da-da. That's still believing that those things can't be overcome. And I don't really think it's just even that complicated.
Good point that you're making, but it's both, though. It's both. It's that the person should learn how, in my opinion, the person should learn how to not take it offensively, but at the same time, considering what people have been through, considering that some people are just sensitive as they're overcoming their sensitivities. So you still want to be respectful to their situation, right? You don't want to just be like, well, you need to overcome this, so I'm just going to say what I want, even though I know you don't like it. You just need to overcome.
Does that mean change the truth because this person isn't at a place where they can accept it? What is being respectful look like?
Good point. Offense sometimes is good. My example, though, is choose the battle. I don't have to hold on to being funny offensively just because she needs to overcome being offended.
It sounds so complicated to me to have to even put it in that manner. Like, if me and you are friends,
right.
And like me, I have a big forehead, right? And if you're constantly ragging on me, like, man, Kaya, it's a chrome dome, da 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 da, and one day I'm just not in the mood,
right?
And now I tell you, hey, Joelle, sometimes you play too much, and you really cut me deep with that last joke. It reminded me of my childhood, and now I'm on a tangent, right? My trauma's coming up.
Yeah, that's
really not on you being funny, because you're my friend, and I know you're funny, and I know I have a big forehead. What's the big deal? You know what I'm saying? So it's not, like,
but see, that's a perfect example. Is that realistically, if I say that to you and it bothered you every time I say it, right? Yeah, Kaya should work on overcoming being offended by that because it's a silly thing, right? But at the same time, doesn't mean that Kaya's gonna wake up in the morning and she's no longer offended. Joelle
but what kind
can
of friend
say,
is Kaya if the whole time she took on a friend who secretly she's been offended every time he made this joke? So that means one day she's going to blow up and be like, oh, I'm questioning this whole friendship because you're really too funny all the time.
Well, not every time. Well,
just,
not every. I don't want to. I'm not saying every single time. I'm not saying like the friend shouldn't have to completely change who he is in the name of respect. No, there's a point where you know, like, okay, I got to walk away from the situation because I really just can't be myself. I'm just saying, like, okay, if Kaya had a problem with the forehead thing and she knows that she should not be sensitive, but I'm just gonna, watch my tongue about that certain situation because it might bother her.